This one's a really tough one because it's a feeling that I never thought, I guess I knew was going to happen, but I never really allowed myself to believe that it would ever happen. And for first 21 years of my life, everyone was still with me. All my grandparents, all my parents, all my friends, like everyone was still in my life and no one had left. And that's almost bad, because now all of a sudden it's happened. And it's like, how do I even process this? What do I even do? And I think that I felt so fortunate and felt so, everyone's still here. Like, let's not admit that it may happen one day. And I think that's such it felt okay for me, but in the long run, and now looking back, it was such a dangerous thought to have. And I'm going to be honest, I knew it was coming. I knew that I could see the sickness, I could see the heart problems, I could see the age, and I could see that I could see it, but I never allowed myself to admit it. And then it came. And it was worse than it could have been. It could have been a celebration of life. Instead, it was like, why? Even though I knew why. Even though I knew that, like, that's just life. And it's easier to say now, but when it happens, it's like, why, man? Like, why does this even happen? Like, why can't we just live forever? But it's just, that's the way it is. And I didn't know how to process it. Like, I was kind of like, what do I even do? Because I guess when you're younger and it happens, and then you know how to react to losing someone. I guess you cry and you sometimes you get angry, and then you kind of celebrate their life. And I was a grown adult. I didn't know what to do, and I definitely had my moments, and I definitely didn't know how to feel. I just knew that it was a bad feeling. And I guess everyone pretty much has a different way of processing it, but my instant reaction was to be angry. That was my reaction, to be angry, and that definitely makes it a whole lot worse. But in the end, right, slowly, for me, the way to process things was to write. And I specifically remember, like, the first week that she passed, I was in my room, and I didn't go out to eat dinner. I just stayed in my room, and I put on like a beat on YouTube, and I just started writing. And it's crazy to think I didn't realize I had some of these feelings. Like, I didn't realize, I wanted to become a vegetarian because of her existence. Like, that's crazy to think about, but I didn't even think about that until I started writing. And, the different things about, being sad, and different moments that I won't get back. And that even the fact that I knew, this was a moment that I knew, oh man, I knew this whole time that, something bad could happen, but I didn't want to admit it. And, even the last night I spent with her, damn, man, like, what was I doing? Like, I can't believe that I made her sleep on the floor, and I didn't spend one more night with her, like like, why did I do that? Why did I do that? You know, I thought, oh, it's just she's just annoying me. I want to go to sleep, so I'm just going to put her over there just so she doesn't annoy me. And turns out that was the last night I ever spent with her, and that's how I spent it with her. And I wish I hadn't done that. I wish I had just gone, you know what, let's just cuddle for one last time. I mean, I couldn't have known it was the last time, but I had to cherish every moment. I guess you have to, and I didn't. And I'm always going to have to remember that night as being the last night. And it's a crap memory. And I guess that really sucks. But I also got to remember some really awesome moments too. And how, you know, I guess she changed my entire perspective on life, in some ways. And that's pretty cool. I mean, that's pretty cool. And I took those moments for granted because I won't ever get those moments again. I mean, I have like 1,000 photos of her on my phone. It's really taken up a lot of space. But those moments I will cherish, but I wish I had enjoyed them for what they were in that moment, and I didn't. And I guess I can't do anything about it now, but I guess this experience made me realize what I have now. I've got to take it in rather than for granted. And it's just such a big part of my life. And I don't want to say was, I want to say is, because there's so much I take with me. And so many hard times. I mean, I had some really tough nights, and for some reason, she was the first person, I say person, she was the first one to know that something was wrong. Like, how could you know? How can you know? Right? But somehow she knew straight away. And she came straight to me. And I was like, whoa. Interesting. Like, that stuff you can't forget. Those moments you can't forget. And I will cherish them for the rest of my life. I actually wrote another song. It's called I Miss You. And the instrumental of that song is actually playing in the background right now. And I'm not going to do any self-promotion here, but you can have a listen to it. Recently I put it out, and it's a sad song. And of course I miss her so much. But it's good to miss someone, because I guess that means that they meant something to you. I think if I had moved on so quickly and just forgotten about her and just, move on, like, that meant she meant nothing. But I've wrote 2 songs now, and I just keep thinking, wow, like, when I first met her, I was like, I don't really want her. But now I want her more than ever when she's gone, and I hate that feeling, but I guess that's the reality. We never realize, we think something's going to go. But I think that's just the way that I process it, and that's the way that I'm going to share my story, basically through music. And I guess I'm coming on here to talk about it. And if you want to check that song out, you can. But I will always cherish her. And if you haven't figured out by now, she was a beautiful little Maltese that I will never forget. And as much as people laughed when I said she's like my sister, who cares, man? I mean, she was my sister I lost a sister, and human or dog, she was my world, and I will never forget her, and I miss her, but experiencing it for the first time taught me so much, and the people that I've got with me now, I'm not going to say that I take every moment not for granted. I definitely do take it for granted, but now I've got to try and not do that. I've got to live in every moment and cherish every moment now, because if I lose the chance to do it again, at least I took everything in every moment. So thank you for listening. I did write a few notes down, but I guess I'm just going to go with wherever my mind wants me to go. So thanks for listening, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.